Hey everyone, I wanted to take just a few minutes of your time to tell you about some new things I'll be doing with the podcast in the hopes of enlisting your support. So first, a little backstory. I started this podcast way back in 2013. At the time, my first child, my daughter, had been born, and I was kind of in a reflective mood. I was thinking about my work and how it fit into my life, and one thing I kept coming back to is that much of my work, much of the writing I was doing specifically on UN Dispatch was very much pegged to the news cycle. It was of its time. And I was sort of thinking to myself, what kind of content could I create that would be relevant years and years from now to someone like my daughter who had just been born, and maybe 15 years from then, could they derive value from some of the content that I could create? Now, at the time, podcasts were not as big as they are today, but I was a fan of this podcast called WTF, in which a comedian, Mark Maron, maybe you've heard it, would hold deep and really interesting conversations with people in the entertainment industry who talked about their life and careers. I thought to myself, why not use this model, but apply it to the foreign policy community? That is, have in-depth and sometimes really profound conversations with foreign policy professionals about their life and career. So I did. I produced nearly 200 of these kinds of interviews in which journalists, academics, diplomats, NGO leaders, social entrepreneurs, and more sat down for in-depth conversations about their lives. And we used the narrative arc of their life and career to form the arc of the show. They basically told their life story from childhood to present, often with digressions about the big foreign policy events in which they had a hand in shaping. So what emerged from these interviews was part oral history of key moments in world affairs by those who helped shape that moment, and part just a collection of great life and career advice by people who have led just fascinating careers. Early on in the show's history, these kind of profile interviews were the only kind of content I produced. As you know, in recent years, I've moved away from that content to more topical issues, but there still remains this treasure trove of evergreen content that I am now going to make available to premium subscribers to the show. I've taken over 50 of my favorite interviews with foreign affairs thought leaders and luminaries and changemakers, and are making them now exclusively available to premium subscribers to the show. I'm doing this for a couple reasons. The first is to directly reward those of you who are premium subscribers. You are helping to keep this show going week after week. I so appreciate your support. The second is, rather transparently, to try to encourage more of you to become premium subscribers to help this show become a sustainable media enterprise. As you may or may not know, it is a cutthroat world out there with podcasts and media advertising. There is no show that covers the kinds of topics that I cover week in and week out with the frequency and the depth in which I cover them, but I cannot do this alone. I do not always have sponsors of episodes. I do not always have advertisers. I need you, the listener, to support the show. So I have already made a number of these kinds of interviews available to premium subscribers, and I will make 1 or 2 new episodes available each week to premium subscribers. So the ones that I've already made available include my conversation with Gareth Evans, Australia's former foreign minister and the godfather of the responsibility to protect doctrine, Luis Arbour, the former UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and former war crimes prosecutor and head of the International Crisis Group, CNN reporter Arwa Damon, who discusses growing up biculturally in Boston and reporting from Syria, where her grandfather once served as prime minister, the academic Stephen Walt, who is on every single International Relations 101 syllabus. He tells great stories about how he came up with some of his big theories, like the balance of threat theory. My conversation with the actor and activist Mia Farrow, who discusses her work as a goodwill ambassador for UNICEF and the roots of her commitments to children. The journalist Nick Kristof, the head of Human Rights Watch, Ken Roth, who discusses why growing up the son of Holocaust survivors propelled him to a career in human rights. To access these episodes and the episodes I'll be posting each week, you need to become a premium subscriber, and you can do so by going to patreon.com/global dispatches. You can follow the link to that page in the description field of this podcast episode, wherever you are listening to the show, or you can go to globaldispatchespodcast.com and follow the links from there. When you become a premium subscriber to the show, you will not only unlock access to these bonus episodes and future episodes I'll be posting on a weekly basis, you will also receive my curated email news digest delivered every morning to your inbox. This is the global news clips service, Dawn's Digest. I am the co-founder of Dawn's Digest, which serves the global humanitarian community and global development community with news they need to know every single morning as they start their day. Several large institutions subscribe to this service, including USAID's Office of Foreign Disaster Assistance, the UK House of Commons, Samaritan's Purse, Global Citizen, a major news organization in Washington, D.C., which I'm not allowed to name. And when you're a premium subscriber, you are given access to this exclusive news clips service. And I'm able to do that because I'm the co-founder of that service. I help run that service, and I, of course, run this podcast. It's another thank you to those of you who are premium subscribers, and another bonus and a reason to keep you on board as premium subscribers. It's a great way to start your day. So in addition to the bonus episodes, Dawn's Digest access, I will also mail you a sticker. I'd be glad to put a sticker in the mail and send it your way. It's a Global Dispatches podcast sticker that you can place anywhere you like, your computer, bumper, water bottle, you name it. There are other rewards as well. Just go to the Patreon page to check those out. And if you're still listening to this episode, it means you are a dedicated listener to this show. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a listener to the show. Thank you for spreading the word about this show. And thank you for becoming a premium subscriber and helping to make this show available. You are the one we've been waiting for. Please become a premium subscriber right now. You can do it with just a couple taps from your phone. Thank you, and we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming. Bye.